CWL Champs, where we've already seen some upsets in these first few series of the day. I'm your host, Katie Bedford, joined now on the desk by Merc, Maven, and Nameless. As we continue things along, our next alpha match, 100 Thieves and Sicario Gaming going head-to-head. We also already have UIU and Vanity going at it in Charlie. We'll also have Luminosity and Singularity on Bravo, and Midnight and Fury on Delta. And this looks to be a good matchup. I mean, we'll see if Sicario can make something happen. We've already seen, teams take down Gen G, Envy almost falling to Sage. So AM teams can do it, certainly, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, teams are going the distance. It always happens, though, right at Champs. It just feels like these AM teams always come out hot. The pro teams, not so much. But, yeah, you look at Sicario, and I think, Tommy built another solid team with whatever pieces that he could find and able to make another Champs, and we know he was able to do it last year.
We've already casted some wildness.
Yep.
I mean, Jonah's first series, Game 5, Fuego upset, so now I'm a believer that anything can happen at this damn event, and I can't wait to get deeper into it, but it's Champs time. I'm having fun.
I'm very excited for this.
It has not been boring.
No, that's
boring by any stretch of the imagination.
All right, well, into the Game 1 we go. Joe, so we saw the upset to kick things off, but you gotta feel like, do you feel 100 Thieves less susceptible to what we saw Gen G go through?
I would think so, and I just think the hunger is there, right? Like, I just feel like Gen G expects to get back to another final. They're third in a row. Where 100 Thieves, they lose to Gen G Saturday night. They get sent home. They don't win 3 in a row. They get top 6 instead. So, yeah, you think 100 Thieves, they are not happy. They're not pleased with that placing. They're going to go back, and they just know how important this is. And a guy like Slasher who, got out of pools but placed top 16, wants a good Champs.
But as hungry as 100 Thieves are, Sicario's surely hungry. When you think about people like Chino, who have been kind of on the outside looking in all year, which they're not used to. A guy that won a couple of tournaments last year, for God's sake. And then someone like Tommy, who's had an interesting year. Obviously, the mental stuff that went down, had to step away from the team, now trying to make a run at Champs. I don't know. I'm excited to see if they're able to do it, but unfortunately, they go up to what many might consider to be the favorite at this event. But it's been a nice start for them as they at least get out to a 10-point lead to kick things off. They've got nice positioning towards the 18-wheeler as well. They'll clear out Slasher and now work on the setup as the next push comes in from 100 Thieves.
Yeah, we'll see what 100 Thieves is able to break it with this push. They siege with a nice cluster, going to slow down the push with Teresa. He probably flies on in with that grapple, but Kenny and Octane there. Proto trying to control this 18 area. We know what a power spot it can be on this map. Well, the nade that comes in from Slasher going to take down Octane. So he doesn't find a kill, but he's still alive inside of this hill, racking up time. But, we've seen this. We saw this a lot at Miami. This hill number 2, if you don't push out both sides, it just feels like it's so chaotic. The spawns are so close.
They absolutely are. And 100 Thieves at least able to get kind of the second half of this time. But just kind of question for you about 100 Thieves and what went down at Miami. Do you think overall that might have been a good thing, though?
I mean, if there's one you're going to lose, right, it's the one before Champs, right? I mean, you don't want to lose, but I wouldn't say it's a good thing. But, yeah, I guess if there's a way to go about it in a positive way, it's to sort of keep the hunger there. I mean, you win 3 tournaments in a row. I think we all just sort of think, like, winning 4 in a row, like, how hard that is. Even to win 3 out of 4, like, we know how difficult it's going to be for 100 Thieves. But, yeah, I think just for motivation purposes to get these guys ready for Champs.
And this is a big thing for Slasher. You win Black Ops 3 Champs. Since then, you've really struggled at the $1 million tournaments, even though you've been the favorite in a couple.
Yeah, it's second IW.
Second IW, and then, well, not able to win, though. Second IW, what was it, 3rd or 4th? What did the FaZe Red team get in AW?
4th.
4th at that. And then,
solid places. You just had the top 16 with Rise.
Yeah, last year. Well, last year's a big one I'm kind of trying to nail. Like, you're the favorite going into that, and then you have a finish like that.
Yeah, and he talked about that on Hot Mic, right, where he was sort of the favorite, and I think a lot of people call them the favorites right now. So, yeah, I think for Slasher, he wants to put on a show, and it starts with this first match.
Well, 40-point advantage now for 100 Thieves as they've really started to get it going. Hardpoint now going to pop inside a Broken. Octane's already got the lightning to work with this. He is, okay, he's on one right now. He's basically pre-firing every edge and finally able to get the snap onto Proto. He'll collect the next streak to go, and then Slasher you can see close as well. That cluster going to funnel them all to the left side of this truck. That'll set them up back alley. He's going to go ahead and call on the War Machine. Unfortunately for him, though, they've got a trophy out on the left side, so he's wisely going to back it up. The trophy can't help them there. Place it safe, get some damage in, finds a kill, and that'll get him the lightning strike.
Yeah, I just don't think you see that every day where, like, a War Machine player, he would probably, like, try to jump out that door and try to blow up the trophy or just continue to call it out. He backs up, repositions, able to find those streaks, plus you have Octane. And, again, when we talk about gridlock, this first hill is really where you're going to see those streaks rain on in. So now with an 80-point 5-point lead for 100 Thieves. It's only going to grow more and more. It was a nice start for Sicario, but since then it's been all 100 Thieves.
And we've seen that a lot with 100 Thieves. Like, the play team's pretty even for a little while, then they explode. Once they get the early setups and are really able to lock it down, and I think a part of that is just the strength of their team at its core. When you get set up early, the strength of their ARs and the ability of their subs to fly around the map, when you give them a little bit of free roaming with the early setup, they can absolutely dominate. I think that was another player from 100 Thieves that was close to picking up streaks, but they're going to invest another one here. It's going to be lightning in from Octane. You see it pushes them all towards underpass, and Octane ready and waiting. I think he does like half the damage with the ICR, and the rest comes through from the lightning strike.
Yeah, a lot of time going to be earned here, and now you're in a position if you're Sicario, how do you want to play this? Because setting up for hill number 2, you have Enable going on a flank through Ice Cream. That's going to be number 7. But the spawns actually do flip, so because Enable got aggressive on that 18 side up towards that top street, Tommy actually spawns behind him. And this might be some very bad timing for Enable because he's trying to set up the pinch. He's hoping his teammates don't die top underpass, but they do. And then he gets caught out. The players spawn behind him. Now Sicario, they do flip the spawns, but the scrap time goes the way of Sicario.
Chino's POV now. He's had a nice start at 14 and 11, but needs some help. Tommy really lackluster out the gate at 5 and 12, but it's hard to have your stats popping off when you're down 100 points. There's been early control for 100 Thieves and most of the hard points up until this nice setup from Sicario. And this is a chance, Joe, for them to really get back into the game. But now the contest is going to fly in. Tommy and Exceed able to win their one-on-ones. You still have a 3-man presence coming through backside post, 400 Thieves. Yeah, and maybe not as clean as you'd like for Sicario.
Well, the big problem was you had 100 Thieves player at the top street inside of Broken, and he was spawning the Sicario players so far away, so they were already staggered. So 100 Thieves has that close spawn. They're just reinforcing much quicker, and while the numbers goes the way of 100 Thieves, they're getting more scrap time. They're going to be up about 120.
Sicario, back-to-back hard points, so they'll have the first setup due to the break from 100 Thieves, so they'll get into showers. Now, what can they do with it? You still have the lightning onto Slasher, but for now, they're just setting the push. Enable's going to spawn out. That's going to kind of set up a pinch unless he gets caught from behind. Priesta goes in for the grab slam. Doesn't get maybe where he wants to hit, or doesn't certainly get the value he wants out of that. It's not going to connect on anything, but his teammate's still finding the kills. He's going to get fortunate timing on the edge, looking for a second player there, but it's the Tempest now in. It's able to get one down on their knees, and the kill comes in behind it. The hip fire, flawless from Octane as well, as 4 end up going down for Sicario, and that break is just too easy from 100 Thieves.
Well, I actually love that play. Enable doesn't go, he doesn't spawn there. He goes on a wide flank, right?
Oh, I thought he popped the back tree.
No, he goes all the way around, and what happens is he basically splits the spawns for Sicario, then they're spawning far Broken, and he knows he just has to take his time. He found a kill on rotation as well, so a great heads-up play from Enable.
Good call, Joe. I looked at it, I thought he popped there. I was like, well, that ends up being a fortunate pinch, but yeah, nice play from Enable. He's a 16-9, so doing it with the heads-up routes and also doing it statistically in this one as he gets close to his vision pulse.
Well, and I think him and Priesta are just going to be, if they want to win, they have to be better than what they were at Miami, right? You talk about the SOG buff, and when we talk about the teams that, you know, E-United, Gen G, the teams that got top 4, they had such strong SOG duos, and that's sort of the one weakness if you want to point out. Can they both be great? Absolutely. But there's teams that have better SOG duos than 100 Thieves, so you have to say Enable and Priesta, if they have a big weekend, it's going to be difficult to beat 100 Thieves.
Well, so far, so good. A massive advantage throughout the course of this game. Sicario able to trade effectively, and Chino working towards some streaks. The question is, will it be too little too late? There's only 38 more points needed for 100 Thieves to close out this map 1. We know how good they've been in hardpoint. You heard the stats throughout the last event. I think the last event was the first time that they lost 2 hardpoints within a best of 5. Like, they've been nuts and so consistent really across the game modes once they improved on their search and destroy. But really, since adding replays as coach and adding Priesta as the 5th, their hardpoint has just been nuts.
This one's not over yet, though. I mean, Chino does find the Hellstorm. He's close to the Lightning. Or, sorry. Has the Lightning, he's close to the Hellstorm. He should be able to find it. I mean, we're only at 60 points now. Sicario has crept their way back into this one. If they can hold this hill, get it to that second, third hill towards tree, maybe it comes down to the wire, but they're trying to hold on. You still had another streak for 100 Thieves. They're able to get back into the hill.
Does this force out the final streak from Chino? He should be coming off spawn here shortly. As he called in with 30 seconds left, he's going to have to. Yep. There it comes in. Everybody lined up. That's a 4-man from the Hellstorm as Chino gets a big hit and knocks under Thieves out of the hard point and gets them spawning on the left side. So that is perfect due to his teammates' positioning. So that this run from Sicario, it's still alive, Joe.
Yeah, what do you want to do if you're 100 Thieves? It looks like they sent 3 towards that tree side. Kenny and Priest able to find a couple of kills. Where do the Sicario members spawn out? They spawn all the way towards the left side, all the way out. So a big couple of kills for Sicario, but you see the spawns are there for 100 Thieves. They're able to break the spawns, and well, now they're going to try to use those reinforcements to break on through, but Tommy able to connect. He's going to find his 3rd.
That was just ludicrous. The hip fire flick, and it connects now. 120 off streaks. Back over to Chino, who has been shredding. He's on 6 in a row. 28 and 18. Out goes the grab slam, and Proto knocks down 2. Now just 30 back as Sicario make the run, and they've got the setup inside the hard point.
100 Thieves still here, though. They have the presence. You have Enable inside a post. But yeah, Tommy forgot to heal. Could have earned some streaks with that Tempest, but doesn't heal. 1 bullet takes him out. They're still hanging on now with 15 seconds left. I think 100 Thieves are probably just going to rotate. Kenny's going to get this scrap time, so it's going to put them within about 4 to win the game.
And you spawn out so deep top left if you're Sicario. 3 of your players do. You have numbers towards the next hard point if you're 100 Thieves. So not only do you get the final 15 seconds, but you also have the numbers towards next as well. They're going to be in. The last ditch effort from Sicario to get in is going to be shut down, and 100 Thieves hold on. And a tense and terrific map 1. With Sicario, they made it close.
Yeah, they absolutely did.
Sicario, of course, Chino, Proto, Tommy, all on that team, putting up a good fight there against 100 Thieves in that first map, but ultimately falling. And also we did have a conclusion there on Charlie UIU 3-0ing Vanity to get their first win. I think of all the teams I was expecting to 3-0, it probably wasn't going to be UIU, maybe a Gen G or something else, but
it was a pretty
they did
easy game, to be fair.
Yeah.
On that control right there, they just dominated. Methods picked up streaks, Phantoms. Saints, they were up like 25-10 in lives in the last 2 rounds, so it was a pretty dominant performance out of them. And you know, UIU's a team that was sort of on the upswing. They won that 3-0 versus Envy at the last tournament, and they looked okay, but we knew that they needed a lot of work. And this is a tournament where players like that can step up and make a run.
Let's look at our first set of groups. Groups A through D, see how things are starting to play out among those teams. You can see it right there. The likes of United, not so surprising that they are sitting on top. FaZe Clan, Reciprocity, and Enigma 6 all with wins, but Gen G still one of those surprises sitting at 3rd there with a loss.
I saw Luskin. I was leaving the restroom and I saw Luskin from Reciprocity. He goes, I'm not doing the British accent. I can't do it. But he basically said, don't be surprised if we win this event. Like, they were very good, apparently. He said for them, at least at the boot camp, they were dominant. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not shocked to see them 3. Oh, no, I would be too. But that was like the last player I saw right before I got on the desk. He's like, don't be surprised if we take this whole thing. I was like, I would be, okay.
Well, if they step up to be like Dylan's been playing, or Dylan played at Miami, if the rest of them like Dens, Wuska, everyone else, then...
Yeah, I mean, that's
asking a lot.
Yeah, that's asking a lot. That's asking a lot.
5 bullets might not be the map.
Think about the people from those 2 boot camps that probably had the most chance to improve. EG in the one and Reciprocity in the other. Like, you're surrounded by 3 teams that you could argue were better than them. So they might have got a big boost. I don't know. There's another dark horse there with EG for sure.
All right, our second set of groups. Let's take a look there at the remaining setup. Again, groups E through H. Of course, G and H, F still looking to play. Group E underway as we move things through here. Still a lot of Call of Duty left to be played for the very first day of Champs, but again, it'll be interesting. Maybe it will see some more upsets of some of the bigger names. See what's going on with teams like Splice. I'm actually really excited to watch Splice play, just for, you know, the potential there, and see if they can figure out their kinks and where they've come from.
You got to think this could be the last chance that Hook and Temp have to win a championship together, right? Like, these guys, it hasn't really worked. They haven't got that championship. They teamed way back in AW where they were incredible. They got all those second-place finishes, and then they team in this game where, like, they're instantly going to be a top 3 team, and it just hasn't shaped up to be like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's exciting, and they are a team that can also make a run. They have so much talent on there. It's just, will the attitudes, you know, will they have that collision and mental capacity in this tournament? We'll see.
Mark, do you think that attitude could play a part with Splice if they can't?
I would say yes. I would say yes. Like, I feel like if they're a team where they lose like the first match of groups, like it might just be over, right? Like, they're just that team where, I don't know, sometimes it feels like they get down on one another. But I just read an interview with Temp, and he says, you know what, I'm not worried about that crap anymore. I'm just gonna play my game, and whatever happens. So maybe that's changed. I think the thing that's really been tough for Splice is just role issues, right? Because they've had Temp on the Maddox. He wants to run the SOG. Do we put Jerd on a Maddox? That just seems like a weird fit. The SOG buff actually sort of like hurt that team in a weird way.
So they tried having Jerd run a Maddox, and he ran it for a little bit, and he absolutely hated it. So he was like, I absolutely cannot run it.
Yeah.
So that forced Hook to run a Maddox for a little bit, and now he hates it. So they were just trying to figure it out, and they've been going back and forth for the last few weeks. So hopefully here at Champs, they figured it out, and we can see an improvement.
It's like the problem has plagued teams since the beginning. What was it? You had like the silly apathy thing to start the game.
Yep. 100 Thieves.
Yeah, 100 Thieves issues with it as well. Like it's wild. It's just this late in the game, people still trying to get comfortable with stuff. It's tough.
It's just hard to imagine a world where like Hook isn't running your SOG, right? Like where he's running your Maddox. It's weird, but
well, and players like don't want to run the Maddox. They're like, no, I want to stay away from that. When like all year long, players have wanted to do it.
Hit scan, baby.
Yeah, exactly. The SOG buff is just it's been crazy to watch this team splice. But I mean, Group H is gonna be a fun one. There's a lot of great teams in that one.
All right, we're getting into map 2, the S&D with 100 Thieves and Sicario Gaming. See if 100 T can extend it to that 2-0 lead, but we'll find out with wonderful American Maven.
Well, Joe, when 100 Thieves really started to improve and get those tournament wins, it came through the Search and Destroy. They made so many improvements, grinding S&D wagers against teams. Well, I was about to break that down, but they all just got spotted. This is a wild hit. Is 4 going to push through lobby? I thought Proto was going to get insane timing behind. He's at least able to get 1 before it's a 4v3. But does their Search need to be like a 60, 70% type win rate for them to win, or you still think they can do it sitting around 50-50?
Well, 50-50 is basically you win game 2, like you lose game 2, you win game 5. And I think that can happen, but the problem is like a 50% win rate doesn't always work out that way. They have to win 1 in a series. We saw what happened in Miami when they don't. They lose to Gen G in a game number 5, right? Get knocked out of the event. So, yeah, it has to be better.
Well, now it's quickly down to a 1 versus 1. 20 seconds on the clock. Lenny has to win a ridiculous gunfight. Gets some damage in and picks Slasher's face off the heady. There's the defuse and the round 1 win for Sicario. That's not easy. He's got your position inside a vent, and you're able to peek out and take that gunfight.
You're just like crawling out at like 0.02 miles per hour as you walk out of this thing.
Is that a misplay from Slasher or just a beam there from Lenny?
I mean, he has a position. I don't think it's a misplay, right? It's just a nice shot from Lenny. Maybe Slasher can back away and play the clock, but I don't think he really needs to. I mean, Lenny was inside a vent the entire time. But yeah, just plays it patiently, and somehow Slasher not able to find the gunfight. So that was his 3rd kill of the round.
It's a pretty good round when the play of the game is you and it's not even your 1v1 win. That really secures it. Sensational round from Lenny and shocks the 100 Thieves side. So to bounce back in round 2. They had the numbers throughout that entire round.
Yeah, but I think it's rounds like that where they have to be better.
Well, it's something that's plagued them the entire year.
Yeah.
You have numbers throughout an entire round. You somehow end up throwing it. Can they clean it up here? It's Chino with the Paladin in hand, though. We'll see if he's able to find the angle against Octane, one of the best snipers
Slasher
in the
is
game.
going to run into 4 of them. It's a very similar hit from 100 Thieves, except it's at the B site. You had Slasher inside the window. He's not able to find any kills as he gets 4-man hit. Now Kenny trying to stay alive. Nice movement onto Exceed, able to win that 1v1, now a 4v4.
That is not an easy situation for Kenny. That's a ridiculous one-on-one win. Gives them a chance in the round. What is that? Priesta doesn't take the shots. Instead opts to throw a stun out, and Chino rips his head off, but not going to end up mattering if the rest of 100 Thieves clutch up. That looks so awkward, though, from Priesta's.
I don't know why he doesn't just shoot.
Like, can you just shoot them?
He shot the door open, but then saw a guy was like, well, I got a stun.
And then goes to get the stun. I think the stun probably hits, too, and leads to them winning that scenario. But Chino snapped. Oh, yeah. Chino obliterated the inside, outside, and all around his skull there.
Yeah,
Woo.
Is that what happened?
But did not matter at all.
Yeah, because then Enable gets 2, so Octane gets a snipe. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's all Priest's stun, dude.
Yeah. That hit the trophy?
Yeah.
What?
Priest just got obliterated, but everybody else stepped it up.
Yeah.
Hit the trophy.
Literally was. That's why.
That whole sequence. I wish people could have seen your face during that play. It just looks so awkward. Like you shot the door open, like stared at them, and then just got smoked.
It's a free kill.
Oh God. All tied up 1-1. I mean, both rounds have kind of been ridiculous. First one goes on 1v1. Then well, hell, that round probably doesn't go the way it does if Kenny doesn't have that clutch one-on-one fight with a nice slide and the ICR win. Nice shot from Octane. Tommy first-blooded, edge to 100 Thieves. This will be now back-to-back offenses where they get the first pick. They get the numbers, but can they secure the round?
Proto going on a flank, though. And number one, that was Slasher. I don't think he saw him. So Proto has an opportunity to make the move, but I think Fog of War might have picked it up because Octane was ready. Maybe they saw something on the mini-map that Slasher doesn't. Kenny gets pushed up with that ICR near that statue. Now a 5 versus 2, a bomb going down.
Very clean round thus far from 100 Thieves. I think Chino got a hit marker, but not sure it would have mattered. This is going to lead both players to get off the map. Lenny off first. Chino will follow it up on the other side. Fantastic stuff there from 100 Thieves, and back-to-back rounds for them. They start to get rolling in game 2.
I mean, they just pick up on it, right? When you're the defensive team and you go down a man, you have to react, right? You have to try to find something to even the odds, and that was up to Proto. Just hit some bad timing. It could have been great. He could have found a couple. Said he found 0.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it was probably Fog of War. At least it looked like it.
It looked like it. I don't think
it's tough sometimes when you're watching it on the mini-map to see if they maybe got him out of like their peripheral, but enabled now 3-10 off his streaks. Sicario desperately needing a round with how these last 2 have gone. Chino, nice shot. This time able to punish Octane. He wants to get aggressive, though. He's by himself over here. What a quickscope. That is from Chino. There's one more. Is he going to win the fight at the other end? No, finally Chino will get traded out, but not before the damage is done. 100 Thieves now find themselves in a 2v4 due to the flashy footwork and snipes from Chino. Uh-oh. This is getting dangerous, though. This is getting dangerous. Now it's going to put Kenny in a 1v2. Chance to clutch. Lenny, nice shot backing down. Re-peeks, get the shots. I thought it got interesting for a second there, but Sicario able to close it out.
Yeah, Kenny's just trying to find a timing there, right? In the 1 versus 2. He knows the 2 players are a little bit separated, and if they grew up, it's going to make it that much harder to win the round. So he's just trying to find one as they group on up. He's able to catch it, but Lenny.
Good shot.
You almost feel like when he jumped over the bush, it's almost like he spotted it, right? Like he was ready for it.
It seemed like he was pretty ready for that quick scope. Otherwise, those were like inhuman reactions. Like that was nuts.
Well, he's already had one on the Priest.
Yeah. I want to see that from his POV because it looked disgusting from Priest's POV.
I tell you what, you're not going to. So
yeah, I know. I just want to. I just want to, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
You don't always get what you want, though. I've learned that.
It's all right. You got me.
That's all I've ever wanted, so I guess I just lied. You're literally the only thing I've ever wanted in my life, Joe. Thank you.
God, I love you.
Chino with another pick, hits the snipe. 4 versus 4. As that slows down the build-up from 100 Thieves. And Chino, I mean, the pressure's going to be on him to hit another shot.
Lenny, though. Lenny's going all the way around.
Chino
hits another one. Lenny's found the opening, but does he even need it to succeed? I think maybe a bit of an over-challenge, but some nice confidence from him. Lenny's going to go on the flank, find that kill. So now it's a 1v2 for Slasher.
Has Chino found another gunner? Is he still just... Okay, so he got an ICR to work with as well. I was going to say, that might be huge in a scenario like this, but Slasher, just a bullet away.
We can hear you bomb, and he has a cluster. This isn't a terrible scenario for Slasher. He knows he has that utility.
The time, the problem, though. 20 seconds to work with. Beams Chino. 1 versus 1 now. Can Slasher come up with the 1v2? Cluster still to use. Challenges!
He caught him!
And he beams him! The timing splendid for Slasher! And the 1v2 clutches in.
Just snapping his fingers, bro. Poof.
Woo. We'll see it again. That one there. Chino just gets evaporated.
Yeah, and then Lenny's just thinking it's time here, right? Because Slasher's just baiting out the bomb, and he's going to time it perfectly where Lenny leaves that position. Is thinking, well, he's just probably going to plant it, or he has to plant it at some point.
Beautifully played by Slasher and shows he is one of the more intelligent players in the game. That was
he
perfect.
builds robots. Yeah, he's smart.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure at some point, if this keeps happening where he loses at $1 million tournaments, he's going to build a team of robot slashers.
4 robots to play next to him?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty dope. So Chino's been winning. The sniper part of this, at least for the first bloods on this ASI, it's been all Chino. I know Octane's gotten 1 pick, but he's been dominating that. They're still building the stage behind it. Is that a buzz? Was that a buzzsaw?
Yes, I think it was. I don't know. Oh! I don't know what's going on.
What are these snipes?
Making a montage.
Now it's Octane's turn as the quickscopes continue to amount within this game too. Numbers Still going to beat 100 Thieves. That advantage will increase. The RK7 doing some damage and leading to a team kill as well. Everybody down for Sicario. Diffuses in. It seriously looks like they're going for montage plays, though. Like some of these snipes have been wild.
It's working out, dude.
Yeah. This is that map. Oh, God, it was in. I think it was in the Pro League, but I remember Octane had like 4 ridiculous snipes, and they still lost like all those rounds. They ended up losing the Search and Destroy.
That sounds about right.
But it was on this map. He's hit some nutty ones here throughout the course of the year. Those are always the tough rounds, though, when you see the sniper like hit. We're on their POV usually because, well, it's flashy, it's fun to watch. But you see them hit these crazy snipes, and you're like, oh, well, they're still
they lost,
and they're still going to lose this.
So Chino hit that nasty one out. They all died.
4-2, not 100 Thieves. Slasher 275 off of streaks. Nobody real big progress towards any kind of specialist, but Chino now going to take the sniper to the other side. That's going to be a hit marker, and he almost gets lasered down, but gets away.
The nades. They're going to get out, and you can see all the red arrows. They're going to rotate back to middle. So what do 100 Thieves want to do right now? Chino still thinks they might be on the bomb. Shoots through it, but Slasher, the bomb carrier, he's rotated back and forth a couple of times. It looks like they are going to head towards B.
So they're trying to bait out the rotation from the defense. They've got a couple to move. Pressure to Chino to hit a shot this time. Not able to come up with the magic. Proto does have this frag grenade. There's one player close. Will it hit? There's the shot. Octane beat down. Proto able to connect with the frag grenade. Suddenly 3 down for 100 Thieves, and they are in trouble. Last one is Priesta, and that is a clean retake behind the Chino snipe and the Proto frag grenade.
That's the scary part about going B, right? You're just stuck in that area due to that staircase where as soon as you go down near that bomb site because it's in the corner, you are trapped, right? And you can see 100 Thieves, they try to get aggressive to put players forward. But yeah, Chino's hitting shots and winning rounds. My man's hitting new levels.
I'm trying to think the last time I watched him really put on with a sniper.
Well, it had to have been World War II.
But wasn't it Theory early that was sniping for them?
I think they both would.
Would they both?
Yeah, I remember they would have had a couple of...
When I think of them, for some reason, I think of Theory hitting like those collapse through the smoke and like all those snipes early for them. Oh, speaking of collapse, I thought you were going to speak it into existence. No way did I just speak that one into it, but doesn't hit it. Gives one a haircut, but 4v2 for Sicario early, and just barely able to get away with his life, but it looks like we might be tied up at 4-4 momentarily as Octane, I think, flinched the only thing that keeps him from hitting the shot. He will get swarmed. Chino does it with a Paladin. Chino does it with the Maddox. And we're all square.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great call from 100 Thieves. You get what you want, right? You get a couple of players aggressive towards the B side to catch these players off guard, but Chino gets the early information, then Exceed can go. They just have to trade that a little bit more effectively if you are 100 Thieves. At least find a kill in that area. You're sending 3 players. You're trying to get aggressive. Instead, Sicario come out on top.
If you think of players that had the most to prove, or felt like they had the most to prove of anyone out of all players, I mean, Chino's got to be on a short list of guys, right? He has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, this is his worst year, ever? As far as just being on the outside of the
Pro League? IW.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I remember he says he goes on vacation. He went on vacation for like 9 months.
That's right. I just love Chino, man. He's a good dude. I like watching him snipe. He'll be holding the B side, but you see on the minimap, it's A side pressure, 400 Thieves. You got two snipers out. So Tommy and Chino both rocking it, but unfortunately when your help drops, that means all the pressure is coming to you as a sniper, and 2 are going to fall. Numbers.
Chino, you got a hit marker!
For a second. But that got a little bit scary for 100 Thieves for a moment. If Chino is able to get the kill, we'd be in a 2 versus 2. But as it stands, 1-man advantage, 200 Thieves. They've got B site control as well and able to work this plant. So it's on Proto and Lenny to get the clutch. Lenny's already got a 1v1 clutch to his name. Can Proto do his best Chino impression?
I mean, they have to peek, right? They have to peek the bomb. Octane does it, able to find the kill, and able there with the trade.
1 round away is 100 Thieves from being up 2-0. Chino talking it through with the boys.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's sort of great about this team. is there's so much experience. It's a little bit scary right now, or well, for Sicario. But when you talk about what this roster has, they have championship caliber players, you know, from years and years past.
It just seems like that's more and more every year. Like, just with how long Call of Duty's been around and some players starting to filter out and getting older, like those amateur teams, it's just more and more veterans, right?
Yeah.
As we get deeper into it. I just think since I've been involved, it just seems to be more and more every single year. Chino, they flinch. Might save the life of 100 Thieves member, but early advantage to them yet again. Chino will continue to hold the angle as his help rotates across. He's got one player into office, one mid-map.
I'll tell you what, I love that from
spot.
100 Thieves, though. Like, yes, they just got aggressive on the last defensive round and got caught out at B, but they still stick to their guns. They get aggressive towards A, and Abel's able to find 2.
Well, think about the last time you tried this. I mean, if Chino doesn't hit 2 ridiculous snipes, you probably make the play. One player left. It's all down to Chino. Hit the 14 HP and trying to scatter away, but he'll get caught. And 100 Thieves able to do it. Up 2-0. Nice control from them thus far.
There we have it. As we move things onward, 100 Thieves extending that lead 2-0 over Sicario. We will see if they can close it out in 3 or if Sicario can make a little bit of a fight, maybe take the control and extend things to a map 4. But again, UYU on Charlie, 3-0ing Vanity to continue on, and LG Singularity on Bravo. Midnight and Fury Gaming duking it out on Delta. We will be right back with more 100 Thieves and Sicario.
Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL. And Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL.
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Level up the game.
CWL Champs is underway. Currently on Alpha, we have 100 Thieves and Sicario going into their control with 100 Thieves up 2-0. Again, Sicario with the likes of Chino, Proto, and Tommy on that team. But again, also on Bravo, LG losing their first map to Singularity, and Midnight winning their first map over Fury Gaming. Again, I'm your host, Katie Bedford, joined by Merc, Maven, and Nameless here on the desk. But you can see it heading into that seaside control, Merc. And do you think it might be a pretty little 3-0? Or?
Yeah, I'm thinking so, and I don't know where Maven went. He just left.
He's gone.
I'm here, though.
He did join us.
I'm here to save him.
I don't know. I think he's done for today.
Oh, he's running. Don't run out of breath.
He's running. He's good. He's on his way back. All right, Maven's here.
It's
He
okay.
just-
I was ready.
He was so fast, papers just
I was
flew
ready
off.
to cast some games, Clint. You should have took a little 5-10 minute break.
Have you ever seen anyone move that quickly?
Literally lightning.
No, did I look a little bit like Usain Bolt?
You
I think
blurred. You moved
faster.
so quickly.
Yeah.
Woo! They called me the cheetah in high school. You know that?
No, they didn't.
They did.
They called you the bald eagle.
Yeah, yes, they did. I wasn't bald in high school. What the hell?
Were you balding?
No, not till college. I think I was like 21, 22 when it started, and I cried a lot.
Did you?
Super sad. Yeah, going bald sucks, man. Super sad.
Well, I'll let
That's
you
a
two
tough
lovely
story.
gentlemen
Thank
take
you.
this away from
All
Master
right,
Control.
Cheetah and Merc, hopping into it.
I'm not calling you Cheetah.
Well, why not?
I mean, I guess if you want to be. Sounds good, Cheetah.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. But we're right into the control. 100 Thieves up 2-0 in the series and looking to close it out here. Joe, you and I talked a lot when we were on Bravo about how difficult you and I thought control was going to be for a lot of these amateur teams, considering it's a new game mode, considering they're matching up against teams at a level they have not played against all year. The only one I really saw was what FaZe got upset in the control. That was the one that kind of stood out to me, but that's pretty shocking.
And that was on Arsenal, too. That was when FaZe is very comfortable.
Yeah, I thought most upsets would be like frequency or something like
Seaside and frequency.
yeah. So far, so good from Sicario, at least with the lives department. That's going to be a B cap. So first point done. Now the focus all to church side. This first transition, huge, but they all get wiped off the map as soon as they get the points. That's great from 100 Thieves. That allows you to push up the map, layer the map, get set up.
That was fast from Chino. That was actually a great play. But
Chino just nuts at this game.
yeah, dude, Chino's a beast. I mean, he's a beast, but you saw Kenny with the SOG. I wonder if 100 Thieves going for a 3 SOG setup on this map. You know, Kenny, he has the ability to do it if he wants to. He just seems that versatile, but pulls out the Maddox now. But this is the tough part if you are Sicario. How do you get this 8 point? Looks like they're going to go around this wide tree. Proto goes so high. Almost like he got stuck up there in the gutter for a second.
He was on top of the church. What the hell was that?
Is that an intended line of sight?
I don't know if it is, Joe. It's a wild movement there from Proto. And you can see exactly why they do that. The distraction, like it just lifts the eyes of all players. They have to focus high. They get caught. That was a really popular strategy, really back in advanced movement. Well, jetpack Call of Duty when you really can get high.
Can fly, yeah.
That entry player goes high, takes the eyes up, and then everyone else melts them. But 6v9 is the lives right now.
That Priest is just frying everybody.
Yeah. Priesta just scorching people. 9-4, 4 in a row for him. 400 off streaks. We swapped to Slasher quickly, right back to Priesta as he keeps this streak going. Only 3 lives remaining for Sicario. Priesta will close this out on a nasty little streak. 5 in a row for him, and Exceed hanging out by the water fountain. Knows he's lost this round and knows that he is dead.
Boy, can they get Priest to this kill? I was going to say, he's going to jump off. If LA 100 Thieves are trying to get Priest to that kill, even just the 100 points to try to get him closer to those streaks. But
How close to the end off it?
I didn't see. Yeah, a couple hundred. But, I mean, a nice round from 100 Thieves. I mean, they give up that B point pretty quick. It was solid from Sicario, but then after that, it was just flawless from 100 Thieves. You only had a couple of pushes that came on through. They were able to lock it down.
Well, yeah, I think the big thing was as soon as they got that point, they got that clean wipe, right? You
Yeah.
send all 5 back to spawn. It allows you to kind of get set up at mid-map. You basically make sure that you never get a full push out of Sicario. Everything gets staggered because they're always losing 1 or 2 in transition when they're trying to get off a spawn. That's the hard part, though. Getting that A point is the most difficult part here. So we'll see if Sicario can improve in that regard on offense the next time around. But now they've got to go to the defensive front, and this is a round you just have to win. You cannot give this one up to 100 Thieves.
Yeah, we'll see what Priest said. He's actually going in first. 325 off streaks. Doesn't matter to him. He's still using that grapple.
Yeah, I think if he's like 75, 100 off, that might be a different story, but still a bit of a ways to go. And you have Slasher getting set up for streaks in the back, so you can bait for him. He was only 300 off when this started.
So now he's 50 points away. He's going to have a one-on-one against Chino. And there we go, on that, towards that side, able to find the last bullet. He was one bullet away from getting taken down, but a great job. I think that was Kenny who slid out in front of him. Nice bait and switch. It's a strong spot with the ICR. Proto going on a bit of a flank behind Kenny, who just popped up off spawn.
Now, poor Kenny, who's thrown himself in front of Slasher, and then that's how you die next time. That leads to a little bit of frustration.
You like that from Proto. Doesn't overcommit, waits for his teammates to help retake this site. They have to hunt him down. He's just wasting 100 Thieves' time right now and staggering the pushes that they're throwing towards this B site.
Now Kenny, a chance to make a play of his own. He has his fist out.
Yeah, he got caught. Yep.
One of those
Switching
times
weapons.
he's wide
It doesn't matter. He's good.
That has been something we've talked about him basically forever, that he just constantly
Dude, World War II, he
triangle,
did it so
triangle,
much.
Y, whatever you want to call it, just constantly swapping. You look at him caught at times, or he'll end up frying 6 in a row. You never really know with Kenny.
It's just, I don't know, it's just
Keeping
keeps
those
you in
hands,
the groove.
yeah, exactly. Keeping those hands in a groove, making sure you're always like kind of at full attention. Well, I was he gets caught not at attention though sometimes. That's the problem of it. Nice win from Enable there in the one-on-one. So the first point done. Now you do have these streaks from Slasher to open it up. Where do you think it would be best to try and use those? Wait for defense or look for an open
I would
offense?
wait for it's tough, even on offense, because what the defensive team can do is just go into church. There's even buildings in their back spawn. You typically get lucky if you get more than one. It is so hard to find one with this tree, so I wouldn't be surprised if he waits. The only other good thing that's good to use it on offense is if you're inside church and then you're using it to just waste time, right? They can't come through those church doors. We'll see if they can get it set up. If 100 Thieves doesn't get inside church, I imagine he just keeps it for defense.
Well, Jay, you can see how much importance both teams are really putting on control of this tower. There's been like a one-on-one, two-on-two. Like they've just been fighting tooth and nail to try and get control. 100 Thieves have given it up for now, and they want to push towards the back church steps and take a different look at it.
A nice position right here from Proto. I wonder if Slasher's going to use one here. It doesn't look like he's going to get aggressive with his team. Here comes the push. We saw Sicario try to do this last round, but it's the same result. As the defensive team able to hold on right now, but Slasher snuck through the back. He was the last player left from that push. But Sicario take care of business now, 7 versus 5, but it's really the clock that's the problem. 10 seconds left.
Nice win from Priest to
Grab.
open it up. Grab slam to use. He wins that one. Who knows? But his teammates do clean up the rest. Suddenly, it's going to be a 3 versus 4. Last player is going to drop inside. Exceed. So much work to do. 2 versus 2. 1.8 seconds on the clock. Kenny's going to get caught. Proto comes up with both. And Sicario hold on to tie it up at 1-1. But
yeah, that gets scary because if Priest is able to stay alive, doesn't get shot in the back by his teammate, he has Grav going into that church, and the round's probably over.
best play goes to Lenny, and I think this is just during that wild sequence where everyone was trying to get control of these steps. And Lenny locked it down, forced 100 Thieves to take a different look at it. They get a nice push. They get a nice chance. Comes down to a 2v2. They just can't win it.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a game. We're not going to a place this an instant reaction. Don't worry about it, okay?
What? Maybe that's when we have a mid-game interview. Jess is going to go out there and be like, yo, Slasher, what's up, dude? What did you think about that round you just lost, bro?
Yeah, bro.
When did we do those? We did mid-series, and was that Black Ops 3? We had, like, we had Ash that did an interview. She did that once. One of the players was like, what are you doing? It was, like, in the middle of CTF, like a halftime or something. Yeah, we didn't do those again.
No. I imagine you didn't.
Risa trying to work his way forward. He used the grab slam to open up this round, it looks like. Slasher still has those streaks. Slasher trying to pick them apart, but the utility from Exceed able to take him out. No progress on either site thus far from Sicario.
You see what Sicario was doing. They knew that the 100 Thieves players were so far pushed up B, they wanted to pull them off that. So they go towards A, find a couple of kills, but then they stay middle of the map so they can rotate on over. Enable, he's going to get caught from the players spawning in. Now Sicario, they're going to be able to make some progress towards this B zone. Proto's going to find the third as he's able to use that grass slam and connect with two.
and he wants to get forward. He wanted to grapple up high like we saw him do previously and be such a distraction, but the positioning from 100 Thieves good enough to deal with it.
Here's the problem, though. Because they didn't stay and capture this B zone, well, I was going to say, if they're all able to stay up, you can use the streak and maybe retake that B zone. But Lydia is able to find 2, has the help of Tommy as well. I mean, they could still use a streak here if Slasher wants to invest in one. They're all inside. He's gonna use a War Machine instead.
Does some damage, gets 1 kill. He only has 7 bullets in the clip. Would have been able to do it with the shot melee, but he gets smoked as the slide comes on through. And these offenses so crucial for Sicario. You get 3 defenses if you're 100 Thieves. You've got to pull out an offense if you're going to get this done if you're Sicario. And that nice little flank there from Enable shuts down their opening wave after capturing B.
Sicario was able to get A last time, but they weren't able to get B. Or sorry, B. They weren't able to get A.
Well, think about it. Last time they got the first point, remember they all got kind of smoked off the map. This time Enable goes on a 4 streak there as soon as they get the point and disrupts their opening transitioning over towards the site. Like, each time they step it up, as Enable just continues to go on a tear. That's now 7 in a row for Enable. And this entire spree has basically happened since they capture B. Like right after they get it, Enable just goes into a second gear. And he has a chance to get some streaks. He's got to be awfully close to picking some up. We'll watch Slasher for now as Slasher gets the melees in, finally drops. How close is Enable? He's 50 off still.
Trying to find one more to get those streaks. I mean, you have 2 sets of streaks going into an offensive round. You're going to use some.
Well, I think this is why you saw Sicario try to throw so much at that push the back steps before they finished capturing it. They kind of wanted to get 2 birds with 1 stone because they got smoked last time. They had that kind of 4 or 5 person stack and tried to push out. Same thing happens here. They get it, but it's so sloppy afterwards because Enable makes the play. I like the idea. It's just they got the worst result of both. They don't get any pressure towards the back steps, and they don't get the point. Like, it just couldn't have gone worse for them. But I don't mind the effort.
Kitty, were you trying to tell me LG got 3-0'd? They're down 2-0. Okay, so LG's down 2-0.
Glad I didn't pick them to win this event.
Well, yeah. That's crazy.
I heard from the boot camp. Stuff seemed kind of off with them at the boot camp, so I don't know. Maybe the honeymoon period, it was a real short honeymoon.
Yeah.
A 1-event honeymoon.
They even made it to Sunday, that event.
Really?
It was a one-day honeymoon.
A 1-day honeymoon?
Yeah.
Man, that's tough.
It's a sad honeymoon.
If we were going to go on one, where would we go, Joe?
Probably, I mean, Mexico, right? We just eat tacos.
Okay, no, that's a perfect idea. That's why I love you, Joe.
Yeah.
I had Taco Bell for breakfast today.
Oh, you did.
It was so good. We still have 2 streaks available for 100 Thieves. And we'll see if they can close out this series on this offense. Yeah, we're missing that top banner right now, but it is 2-0 for 100 Thieves. They're up front. And to be fair, both maps were relatively hard fought.
Yeah, first one, Sicario fought their way back into it. Enable just trying to stay alive. Exceed's going to find it with the War Machine. Right now, Sicario doing a very solid job off the break to not let 100 Thieves inside this B zone. What are 100 Thieves going to do? Like you said, they've already used a couple of streaks in this round, not able to connect with much. You still have Enable with the Vision Pulse, but the big issue is that time. There's only 25 seconds left for them to get onto a zone, and 3 go down.
That could be the round. Slasher's flank towards A might be everything. If he wins this one-on-one, he can really pause time by getting onto this A side, or is he gonna push the whole way through? He might just push through and flank B, but his teammates...
Like you said, he's got to stop the clock. Yeah, he has to stop the clock. Wins or finds Chino, but here comes the reinforcements.
I didn't think that stun was going to hit him with where it was angled, but it is able to connect. He's able to back up and bait and switch, though, and Kenny does get 2. They got to get back in, though. 2 seconds to go. Tries to slide in. Tagged as he goes in.
They got to be. They got to be.
Now they're on the other side, and it's really Tommy here that might be able to make a play, but Priest able to catch the angle. But now the swarm comes in as Sicario moves across the map, and you just don't have the numbers here from 100 Thieves. They'll get dropped. They'll get smoked. Round to Sicario, and, well, as you expect typically on a map like this, it's all defense.
All defense. The tough part for Sicario, you still have 2 lightning strikes on the side of 100 Thieves, where it's going to be difficult to really take that B zone down low.
It's like it's already difficult now.
Yeah.
Even more difficult.
We'll have to take a look at the specialist, see what both teams have to use.
It's just another one of the events. If you're the higher seed, like it really works out for you when it comes to these controls.
So just Vision Pulse on one. Chino has his, plus you have the Tempest on Tommy. I think Vision used right away from Chino to try to get inside, but Slasher's going to use his Hellstorm.
And I'll tell you what, you and I have seen some really horrible uses of streaks early and some that really work off when you call, like you can't call it into what, 15 seconds on the clock. That one though, you get 3 down, ends up being a complete 5 down. You have a 5 life advantage. You're pulling in Vision Pulse. This round's over before it starts.
Yeah, like, this is just wasting time. It's all this is doing. A couple of nade kills come in. How do you make a push now if you are Sicario? The lightning strike is in. They are just stuck in their base. 100 Thieves spawn trapping the hell out of Sicario. Tempest was used by Tommy to try to help them to get out, but even now, look, it's a 10 life advantage, even if they do get to B.
Yeah, this has been a good old-fashioned stomping in the 5th and final round, but what a fantastic streak use from Slasher, and they follow it up brilliantly. Sicario is going to get 3-0 in this series, but they played 100 Thieves tough on all 3 maps. I think that's something to be proud of as you move deeper into the group, but unfortunately, a 3-0 is still a 3-0, and all that matters is map wins and series wins at the end of the day, especially when you take a look at tiebreakers if this group goes the distance.
Yeah, I mean, but it was like, it just felt like 100 Thieves was always in control, though. Like, while it was close, it just always felt like, all right, no matter what, they had the advantage when it came towards that end game.
I guess I just, even though it's 3-0, I kind of like what I saw with Sicario. I mean, I didn't have big expectations, to be honest. We were playing against one of the best teams in the world. The 100 Thieves do what they need to do. They come in, they handle business, they get the 3-0.
They certainly do here. Again, 100 Thieves taking it there on Alpha, as Maven just said. 3-0 over Sicario. We're to swing now in just a second down to Delta, where Midnight is up 2-0 over Fury Gaming. Just a quick update. Luminosity on Bravo is down 2-0 to Singularity.
And they're getting kind of smoked as well. Like
Singularity was a top 6.